while I prepared this coffee.
Coffee pot's going. Now, what I'm wondering is that I thought I've heard a 60 cycle type hum from Melisa's Seymour Duncan. I thought I rewired it parallel, but parallel would cancel the hum because there's two coils. It's just like a humbucker, except the humbucker voltage goes through one and out through the tied red and white, and on through the other coil, and then come out on the other side with twice the, basically twice the voltage, or twice the, both coils, but it goes through the first coil and out and through the second coil. That's how it should work. That would be more voltage, and still be two coils to cancel hum. So there is some hum when I touch this positive. Good. Actually, that is the casing, so I have to. I think all I got to do is ground that too, the casing. So that's one bit of work to do, and let me turn the volume up a little bit. The loudest coil should be the active coil, although they will both make some sort of noise. This is the screwable one. Take note that even if this coil here is not active, the vibrating strings are moving, and when I slam them against those pole pieces that are screwable, which I can connect to, because I can't do it if it's recessed in plastic. But that right there would set a vibration of some form to the strings, and the strings would also react and respond to it. So chirping can be realized even if this coil was inactive. Now, I have a feeling ground stuff. Alright, when I touch that, so this whole switch needs to be grounded. I know that. Now this is the volume of the screwables that are exposed. This is the volume of the ones that are recessed. If you noticed, I'm going to go back here. Notice that Melisa, the black recessed poles, let me put it in the center. Black recessed poles are actually at an angle. It's weird. And I can't get it to sit flush. So since I can't get it, if it flush, it ends up like that, actually closer to the strings than the screwables. Well, just about the same. Yeah, I probably average it out. It's about the same. I'm trying to get a view of it so you can see that it is up, ramped up. So, one of the weird characteristics of Melisa. However, Melisa sounds good. Now, I'm going to go on the screwables. Do a little bit of work that I'd like to do. Get them all the same direction, so it'll be all round when the string goes across it, slams across it, because I do slam it. a round thing that the strings will bump against, and it's metal to metal, and the strings are moving, and on top of the frequency that it's trying to reproduce, or reproducing, it also has to contend with this sudden smash into the screwables, right? All I'm doing is getting them all in a straight line. Yeah. It looks pretty good. Now, lend an ear. This is the volume that the screwables are producing when I rub. Now, here's the volume. So I think that these are active. I think this coil is active. That's definitely the cylinder. You can still hear, and there might be some kind of current running through that coil, but it's not producing a voltage like this is. That's definitely what's happening with this guitar. And I mean, I tried 3 different ways to get it to connect up in parallel, and it was not helping me. But when I got the sound out of it, you know, I left it at that. But that's what I think. Sure, you get some sound out of that. The 2 coils next to each other, so it's going to be forming some sort of field, and it'll interact with the active one. I'd say that is active, which is okay because she sounds great, and I can chirp, you know. But mechanically speaking, what I believe is happening is that string, especially if I let go of it, I'm muting it. But when it hits that screw and slams into it, that it also responds and reacts, and it's in the string, that vibration, and the active one picks it up. That one. And that might be somewhat active, but it definitely is not spiking a voltage like I expected. So, well, Melissa, you are always an odd one. If that's the way you like it, you sound good. We wrote a song on it. So I'd say that I'll have to accept it. That this one here, it's not inert because you can hear all that. You can hear the rubbing. There's a mechanicalness to it, and also I gotta admit that there's a magnet and a copper around that magnet, and it's gonna be some sort of a transducer, some sort of response to this one that's spiking. That one is spiking. It's the voltage is definitely up. Where this one, well, consider it dual coil. Because I don't think it's parallel. It just doesn't respond like I would have imagined. It's one of those questions, you know. But slamming into these solid metal screwables, you know, you get a string that's vibrating and trying to produce the natural E or whatever it is. Well, that was low E, high E. Still does it. So I think that's really what's happening. Is the active one would take over, even though there's some kind of secondary field thing going on. But it's definitely not active where this is. See? However, Melisa, you still work. Now, Melissa's little knob is really a crisis. I got on order 2 white knobs for the type that's on Les Pauls, that kind of switch. And this one here is like that, but this knob, cream knob, I tell you, I had to put that aluminum tape around it to build it up so that this would then, grab. And that's about it. That's all I got. But at least it keeps it from making that noise. This 6-second hum. That's because I didn't find the ground on that casing. Ah, humbucker. Let's see. See, the humbucker will tend to feed back, especially if I put it. Whoa! Better sit there and do it. That's this pickup now. That was that monstrosity. That's what that is. And when you put it on this one, now a tweener should be a little louder. Let's see if I can get it to start. Yeah, but it's not like the blaster. There you go. So basically, one volume, a little louder, and the blaster. And that's the way I like it. In other words, rhythm in between chink and tweener stuff, and finally the blaster back here when I want to really lead. And it's back here, so it's going to pick up quite a few high upper harmonics. I'm thinking of getting saddles from Gravtech. Some things to be said about the original ones they started with. It was that same material, this black material there. I don't know if you can see it. It's kind of like metal, but not really. You can file it. It's hard. I know that. I wonder if it's hard enough to make saddles out of. But that's the original. The other one's classic, which is metal like this. That's classic. And there's 1/3 one that's classic, but it rides on graphite. That material, the string does. I don't know. I'd have to read up on it more. So far, I'm just reading up on what the information is when you dial Sweetwater and you look for the pickups. And then I don't know what I was doing, but they responded me through an email and had my name and my email and everything, and was attempting to sell me some saddles, which I was hunting down. But what they say is that in the metal saddles that Fender uses, and Wilkinson, I imagine, there's a spike at around 2K, 2,000 cycles per second. I think it's what it says, spike 2,000. It's not 200, it's 2,000. 2,000. And it's rather rude. It's kind of hard to get get away from it, and it's there. You know, it's metal to metal. There's something going on. But this graphite, it's all the frequencies are balanced and smooth, and there's nothing sticking up. So the guitar should sound richer. So I'll look into that. I mean, Melisa definitely needs all the help she can get. You know, she's already gone through a lot of operations, and I did clean up this switch. Let's take a look at it through the back. There it is. See, because I saw a rust there, and I didn't like the way it looked. So I just took some. I just took a file to it, actually, a little flat file I have. It's very fine file, and I kind of rubbed it onto it. It's not really set in the way I like, because it's a makeshift washer for it. I don't have the parts for this. And then when I attempted to smooth it out or clean it up, the file that took the chrome off of it, and there's brass underneath. So that's what's that. That's what that is. I don't know if that's better. So these are the findings on Melisa's latest. It's kind of like symptoms, and then I had to, one symptom is like, if it's parallel, why am I hearing some hum, and I can move just 2 inches and it'll go away, so it's like very polaric, and however, it's got great tone, and there's people that use single coiled up here, you don't need much. Like you only use about an 1/8 inch of Alnico in this one, and the series that are classic have a 1/4 inch. That's where you can get that 1/4 inch with that model. I'm not sure. Probably Alan Holdsworth too. That where he has all screwables. That's 22, and he did put a little YouTube type thing, a demonstration of the 6, because Carbon, the other company, forget the name of it. It uses 6, and apparently it's wide enough of a field that Alan Holdsworth didn't mind. So wow, because he likes 11 screwables per coil. 11 plus 11. I showed you that pickup the other day. All right, well, that's pretty much what's going on with Melisa. We found out that this is the active coil, and it happens to be shoved up against closer to the strings than the screwables. And I could never get that pickup to, it's Melisa's way of saying, no, this is the way I want it. See, she's insistent, I told you. Yeah, that's active. This is doing whatever a coil of magnets does, but it's not pushing like the other one. One thing is pushing a signal, and one thing is being passive about it. This is like in a car, you have the driver and you have the passenger. This is just being a passenger, but contributing to the conversation, I guess. Yeah. All right. Well, I don't mind if it sounds like you sound. It's not bad, you know. Now I know I gotta ground that one, so it's only gonna get better. All right, that's Melisa. That's one patient that keeps returning.